Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the studentloanjustice.org live stream for Wednesday, September 13th. I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world. I'm going to get right into it, folks. We've got two interview requests going on right now, one from NPR, the other one from a Swiss news agency. I don't know what that's all about. But you can go to our Facebook group. Just look for Student Loan Justice on Facebook, and you can find our main group, and you can see the interview requests there. You can also go to our petition and look at today's update, where you can also see links to those. That is at change.org/cancel student loans. 1.2 million signatures on that now, by the way. So at least on paper, we are a very, very large group. So if you're new to the group, welcome. We're fighting for two things: the return of bankruptcy leverage to student loans, and the cancellation of all federally owned loans by executive order. That whole concept started on this group, believe it or not. It's true. This group may appear to be quite disheveled, or maybe I should say I appear to be quite disheveled, and that is true. But this group is actually a force to be reckoned with in the public conversation around student loans. We've been around for 18 years now. We've been featured on 60 Minutes in the New York Times, including just a couple days ago, we got a little quote in the New York Times. But that first thing I said, bankruptcy, it lies at the core of everything, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you would ever or never file for bankruptcy is not important. Having the leverage of bankruptcy, as all other citizens have with all other types of loans, that is the critical key domino that must fall. We must get our bankruptcy leverage back. Whether you would ever or never file is not important. Very few people, in fact, maybe even no one, will actually have to file once we get the right return. But we've got to get that leverage back if we're going to see anything good happen. The past 3.5 years of fighting for student loan cancellation by executive order have proven that. And here we sit with the loans about to be turned back on, and we still don't have the leverage of bankruptcy on our side as it exists for all other loans, all other borrowers. Very important. If you actually want to solve your student loan problem, no matter what you want to see happen with your own student loans, whether you want them canceled, whether you want the interest waived, or whatever you want, we've got to get the leverage of bankruptcy back first. So it's not super sexy, but it's absolutely vital and essential for actually, not pretend, actually solving the student loan problem. The recent spate of cancellations we've seen over the past month or so, 800,000 people, most, I think, getting through public service loan forgiveness, but a few also getting through the income contingent repayment plan. That's less than 2% of all borrowers, guys. Don't be lulled into a sense of optimism that your loans are going to be canceled by any of the income-driven repayment plans. They are completely and wholly untrustworthy. Many, many years and decades of careful observation have informed us of that fact. And I'm here to tell you guys, the Department of Education is not a good faith actor. And as long as bankruptcy remains gone from these loans, they will never be a good faith actor. And as soon as the lights as soon as the spotlight is off, they will go back to doing what they've always done, which is disqualify the overwhelming majority of student loan borrowers out of these programs. That's not a solution, guys. That's not a real solution. The real solution begins with the return of bankruptcy rights to the loans. Only then are we going to see meaningful student loan cancellation. Only then are we going to see anything good for the borrowers. So that's the most important policy point that I have for you tonight. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, and if I can, I'm going to make it very short tonight, like maybe less than 10-minute live stream tonight, guys. So if you have any questions or comments, get them in now. And if I can see them, I will respond to them. One last plea, please donate, guys. We need like 10 people to donate $20 this week. I also want to raise an additional $100 as soon as possible. Because I want to try doing a Twitter ad buy. We almost never do that kind of stuff, but I want to try it. I just want to see. Supposedly for $100, we can get 50,000 people to see our poll, and I will show you our poll right now. It's probably way down the list by now. Bear with me, guys. We're doing a poll currently asking, will you resume paying on your student loans or not come October 1st? And so far, we only have like 500 people who've responded to the poll, which is really a low amount. But you can see that as with nearly 500 people filling it out, so far it's 70% will not resume paying their loans. About 30% will resume paying their loans. So, and that totally squares with what we're predicting. I'm predicting that, quite frankly, probably not even 30% of the borrowers will resume paying on their student loans October 1st. But, the poll becomes more credible with the more people, hopefully random people, that fill them out. So, yeah, we'd like to advertise this poll on Twitter. And supposedly we can get 50,000 people to see it if we pay $100. So, anyways, just please donate if you can. We can do nothing without your very modest financial support. And fundraising is always just a massive challenge for us, literally, to even keep our lights on. So please donate if you would. There's the link, studentloanjustice.org/donate. And then I can shut up about it because I hate fundraising. So tonight, guys, we're asking everyone to do a really fun action. Fill out this poll too. In fact, while you're watching this live stream, go to Twitter, scroll way down on our stream, on our feed or whatever, on our profile. It's twitter.com/studentloanjustice. Sorry, studentloanjus1, and find that poll, fill it out. But also look at the very top of our profile, and you will see in the pinned tweet a flashing slideshow that tells the story of many of our borrowers. So these are people who have repaid vastly more than they originally borrowed, and yet still owe vastly more than they borrowed. They've repaid, like, here's Vanjie, or Sabrina, she borrowed $72,000. She's repaid $100,000 on $72,000. She still owes $168,000. Here is the fun action for tonight. And I hope you will do this while I am talking, just so you do it and you don't put it off. Leave a comment below this tweet. And in that comment, call out your member of the House of Representatives. If you Google "find my House rep," you can very easily find out who your House rep is. You can very easily find out what their Twitter handle is. Call them out in the comments below this slideshow. Again, the slideshow is right at the top of our profile. It's the pinned post, the pinned tweet. I guess they're calling it post these days because Elon Musk. We're not even supposed to call it Twitter these days anymore. So okay, fine. So yeah, leave a comment, and in that comment, call out your House rep. And I would say, take a look at some of the other people who've already done it, and say something similar. Ideally, you'd say something like, "Hey, Representative blah, blah, blah. Where do you stand on returning constitutional bankruptcy protections to student loans?" or something like that. But whatever, have fun with it. Be creative, be clever. Send it around if you would, spread it around. Try and get as many people with student loans to see that as possible. And hopefully that ad buy that hopefully we'll be able to do, if people donate, we'll get a huge new influx of hopefully rather random student loan borrowers, because we want this to be, as accurate as possible. So please do that. The poll is also listed on our Facebook group. Again, Google Student Loan Justice Facebook, and you can find our group, and you can also take the poll there. We're getting roughly similar numbers on that poll. So just please do that, guys. It would be very, very, very helpful. This is a working, fighting group, if you haven't noticed. We're not here to entertain you. We're not here to blow smoke up your ass. We're not here to sell you out to the student loan industry and get you to sign up for the SAVE plan. We call it the slave plan. It's ridiculous. We're not out here to make a buck off of your back, guys. We're just I'm a defaulted student loan borrower. All of our members are just distressed student loan borrowers. We are a working, fighting group. And if you want to be part of this group, you have to help us fight. And so at a minimum, I would tell everyone, particularly if you're new to the group, The minimum you might do is get into the daily habit of doing our daily actions. Daily actions, right there. Right there. Do our daily actions. They're quick. It's like pretty much like that thing today, the thing that I just said right now, just calling out your house rep on that tweet. That was today's daily action. So it's the daily actions are that quick. It's like retweet this, retweet that. That's a daily action. You know, with 1.4 million members in this group, guys, you have no idea how strong we could and should, and I say must be. Because October 1st is coming, guys, and these loans will be turned back on, and we almost certainly will not have our bankruptcy leverage back. So we are going to be served up like turkey to the debt collection industry at the Thanksgiving dinner. This could get very ugly. This could get very, 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 very ugly for you and your loans. So this is what democracy looks like, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, but and believe me, if there was any other group fighting the fight as it actually needed to be fought, I would join that group and I would take the banner behind me and throw it away. That group doesn't, well, that group exists, but it is this group. We're it, guys. I kid you not. The other groups are, I'm sorry, but they're just completely full of shit. They're calling blithely. They're making these blanket calls for loan cancellation. Well, we've seen what Joe Biden is going to do on canceling loans. We've seen what he's going to do as long as we don't have the leverage of bankruptcy on our side. Those groups are, I'm sorry, but they're just full of shit. And half of them are straight up corrupted. Half of them, in fact, I think all of them are making money on the side through very nefarious ways. Many of them which are extremely harmful to you, the borrower. Many of these groups are selling their borrowers out, trying to get them to consolidate their loans or rehabilitate their loans. And the groups are not on the level, guys. There's a lot of fakeness out there in the zeitgeist, and that's just true. So I hope the truth of what I've told you tonight has come through at least a little bit. I hope the veracity with which I speak has come through maybe just a little bit. And I said I'd go 10 minutes. We're at 12 now. I think I need to just cut it off there, guys. I do apologize. I wanted to get to your questions and comments tonight, but I will finally only say just hang in there, dudes. And not only that, hang in there, but help us fight. You've got to. I mean, these are your loans. This is your livelihood. And as long as you sit there and wait and watch and worry and do nothing, or maybe let one of the other groups hypnotize you into a sense of helplessness and feebleness, like intransigency, nothing good is going to happen. Nothing good will ever happen for us unless and until you sitting there help us fight. It's the truest thing I'll say. It's not sexy. It's not pretty. This fight is a good fight to fight. The country needs us. Hundreds of millions of people who are going to follow in our footsteps need us. And I think fighting this fight is cathartic. And I think most of the people who have been fighting this fight with us, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people actually, but really, our hardcore group of student loan justice warriors, which is probably less than 200 or 300 people, they will tell you it feels very cathartic to fight this fight. And we're on the brink of great success, guys, but we're not going to get there until you help us get over the top. So, okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Good luck. God bless. And Godspeed, everyone.